So, we're in the shop tonight. I don't want to start a giant new project yet because I'm in the middle of kind of reorganizing and cleaning some stuff up in the shop. But I want to take a break from that to work on something else because cleaning's alright, but it's not as fulfilling as actually building something. So, I want to build something. This right here is no longer going to be mine. Worked out a trade with another axe buddy. I've been talking with him, Kevin at Bit and Bark. Really cool channel. He's been putting out some great stuff. He just started and he's already crushing it. So if you haven't watched his channel or come across it yet, I highly recommend it. He's doing some cool stuff, and has fit fit right into the X community right from the jump. So yeah, so he has been collecting, or just started. He's been collecting axes for a little bit, but specifically focusing his collection on Kellyworks axes, and he likes the 3-line flint edges, and this happens to be one that's in my collection. It's clean, I like it, but I don't particularly collect these. It's one of those things where, like, I don't not collect them. I've got a good number of Kellyworks axes, but it's not one. It's not a line or brand that I purposely seek out to try to get, you know, a pattern a pattern in every one of the stamps or anything like that. If I come across one that I really like and I see it, yeah, by all means I'll add it to the collection. But it's not one I necessarily hunt for. And this is a super clean one that I've had in the collection for a while. Give you a closer look at it. So that stamp is nice and clean. I just degreased it because I want it degreased for what we're going to be doing here. It's got the under the pole weight stamp, so 3-2. You can see it there. The reverse side super clean. The profile of it is really. You have to focus here. There you go. The profile of it is really nice. Nice high center line. Really doesn't look like it's had much bit wear at all. Some little bits of microchipping at the edge, but that'll come out with one sharpening, you know. Pull has just the tiniest bit of damage on it. Really negligible. So overall, it's a really clean axe, or head, axe head. So, trading that to him, he's going to have some stuff coming my way, which is super cool. But, since he's told me this is likely going to end up in his forever collection, and I don't believe, I was chatting with him, you know, texting, and he said he hasn't gotten into leatherworking yet. So, I thought, why not make a sheath? This is the one that I made for my Plumb Connie. I know you guys are probably sick of seeing this thing, but I'm not sick of it yet, so you guys get to see it too. But this is the sheath I made for my Plumb Connie. I really like the design of it. It works really well. Just kind of simple fold over. It's a really similar concept to the simple sheath that Killinger just did for Buck and Billy Ray. It's, you know, a simple fold over concept. His looks a lot nicer because he's way better at leatherworking, but same general idea, right? Kind of like 3-piece construction that just folds over. So yeah, we're gonna make one of these for this guy. So if that's something you want to watch, that's probably why I clicked on the video. Stay tuned. I'm not going to do a giant step-by-step. I'm going to do a high-level overview, so this is just a quick, simple video. So the general steps are: trace a pattern out on cardboard, cut that pattern out on leather, glue that leather together, punch holes, stitch it, and then put some rivets in, and that's pretty much it. So, get after it. If you haven't watched my other mask making videos, what I like doing is this piece is going to progressively get cut. So you start off with one piece and trace it onto here, cut it out, then on this piece, cut off the lip, or the flap. And then you have your front part of the mask, and you trace it out again. Then you have your welt, and it's your 3 pieces. It's nice. But that first piece that you trace out gets cut 3 times. If that makes sense. Alright, so now that we got our next piece traced out, we're going to cut the top off of here. Alright, so now we've got our back piece, our front piece, and the last thing we need to do is take that original piece and cut our welt. Alright, so now we have a 3-piece sheath. So back, our welt, and then our front. It's just a sandwich, right? Nice tasty leather sandwich. So one of the things to pay attention to, I know I've mentioned it in other videos, sheath making videos, is which side you want to be the show side for each of these. So you can see here we've got the nice finished side of the leather, so that is like the show side. For this part of the mask, if we're assembling it just like this, the parts that are on the outside, right, the outside, are going to be what the show side is, right? So the inside is that split green, I guess. I don't know which is the flesh side, which is the hair side. The smooth side is what you want out, because that's what's pretty. That's the extent of my leatherworking knowledge. So, right on this, I usually like to write show. So that way I know that I want this, when I'm placing it on the mat to get, or the leather, you know, shoulder to get traced out, that is going to go down, right? Well, doesn't matter. But this piece, you know, all of your show sides should be down. So that way you shouldn't see the words anywhere when you're tracing it. Or if you want to write, you know, up on this side, sure. However it works, as long as you can keep it straight. My pencil's getting a little dull, so we're going to sharpen it up here. I don't talk a lot about knives on the channel, but, or too much I guess, but tonight I've got my ZT in my pocket, so it's usually a bigger knife than I like to carry for EDC, but when I'm kind of working out in the shop, sometimes it finds its way into my pocket. I do like this knife, it's a bit big to carry for EDC. In the winter it's not as bad, but you know, it's a little cumbersome. I do like the design though. Also, it's one of the super steels, right? It's a, you know, LMAX. So it's there's a model number for you if you're curious. So it's a real pain to sharpen, right? It takes a long time to get an edge on it. It takes a long time to lose the edge too, but it not exactly field expedient, if you know what I mean. So there's something to be said for super steels. There's also something to be said for just simple old high carbon steels, like axes. Alright, start tracing these out. One of the things that I spend way too much time doing is trying to maximize every little piece of leather. When I initially bought this sheet, it's pretty big, right? I think I've already made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 sheaths out of it. No, I can't remember. I think they've all gone other places than my one, but yeah, it's a big piece of leather, but I try to maximize my pieces on it, just so I'm not wasting it, just because, you know, I paid for it, and I want to try to get my money's worth out of it. But one of the other things too is, like, it seems like it's a bit expensive to start, but I think the whole side was like $80, but like I said, I've already gotten 5 sheaths out of it. And I can get We got 5 sheaths out of it, and I can still get a lot more, right? It's might have been 4 sheaths, 5 sheaths. I don't know. I lost track. But either way, I've gotten a good amount of use out of it, and I can still get a lot more. But I'm carefully placing where these pieces are going to try to maximize efficiency, minimize waste. You get the idea. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Just trying to fit it in where it fits in. So one of the things that I like using to cut the leather is this little Stanley utility knife. I really like the shape of it. This is one that I saw Paul Sellers using in Wrangler Star back in the day, but it's out on Paul Sellers first. So it's a 10049, and it just has these little tabs that you pull, and this folds up. One of the things that for utility knives too is if you just sharpen it, you can get a lot more life out of your blade too. You can see this one's been sharpened a couple times. I'll probably just go fine. And I really like these diamond hones for little jobs like this. They're just super handy. I got both of these diamond hones and this little utility knife off Amazon, so I'll if I remember, I'll try to leave links in there. And for me, it's not really about saving the money necessarily. It's about I never remember to order new blades, and I want to keep a blade sharp. So I just sharpen it, or I want to use a blade that's sharp. So just sharpen it up, and I'm good to go. Just spray some like Windex or something on it, just something to carry those shavings away. So they're fine. Hit our super fine too. It's never just a straightforward project, right? There's always side quests. Always something else going on. The reason why I never like took commissions for builds or anything like that is I work so slow. I'm not fast about anything that I'm doing because my time in the shop is relaxing for me, right? It's where I come to de-stress. It's where I get a creative outlet. It's where I unwind, right? Taking commissions for builds would, you know, it might ruin that. Maybe it wouldn't, but I think it would for me. I don't have enough time to really buckle down and do that kind of work. Maybe later at some point, but so anything that I sell, I kind of just build, and then when it's done, if I want to get rid of it, I get rid of it. I sell it. All right, that looks pretty good. So we'll strap it quick. Yeah, this little pack, I think it's under $40, right? I think it's like $35 or something. Last time I looked. It's got an extra coarse, medium, fine, and super fine. And there's little diamond hones. I really like using them for sharpening axes too, right? Touching up the edge on them. Nice edge on there. I'll just strap it quick. Now, would it have been easier to just swap out a blade? Yeah, but honestly, this is probably sharper than the factory ones anyways, so. Anyway, I saved myself like 20 cents. This just feels a little loose. I'm going to tighten it up just a smidge. There we go. So I like keeping my strop one side loaded with like sharpening compound, and the other side just bare, so I can kind of just clean off the edge after. Alright, so what I'm doing here is just slowly cutting along my lines. And it is nice using a freshly sharpened edge. Line head restorations. Ryan, right? He talks about using blades like they're disposable. And I agree with the concept. I absolutely agree. Keep a sharp, fresh blade when you're working with leather. It makes it so much more enjoyable. You're going to make less mistakes. You're going to slip up less. It will just go way better. So, keep an edge on it, or swap it out. However you do it, just keep it sharp. That is just one of many, many, many leatherworking tips I've picked up watching his videos and chatting with him. So we've got all of our pieces cut out. I'm going to try the Killinger trick again, where he glues the bottom piece on. I'm just going to cut that a little shorter so it'll be like this, so that way the seam will be on the bottom here. And glue this in like this, but cut it out of a straight strap just so I can save on leather a little bit. So with each one of these projects that I'm doing, like I keep saying, oh, I'm not a professional, I'm not perfect at this. I'm not, but I'm trying to get better with each one of them, right? It's constant improvement. I'm trying to make a nicer sheath than the last one with every new one that I make. Same with axes and same with handles, right? It's that constant striving for, not perfection, but just getting better at the hobby. I don't like the idea of it being perfection because it's never going to be perfection, but it's going to be better than it was before, right? So I'm going to try to do my right order of operations. I'm going to try to sand the pieces that I need sanded. I'm going to try to thin down the spots that I need to thin down. And I'm going to try to burnish the edges that I can't get to, usually. And when I did this, the stamping on this sheath, one of the things that Ryan pointed out that I got lucky with, but I should probably pay attention to is, I think it's called casing. Might be a different word, but either way, the leather, when you're wetting it, do that before you do any of the finish work and stuff like that. And when you wet it, he said wet the whole piece evenly, so that way if there's like a little water line or something like on that, it's not noticeable. In my mind, that made perfect sense after he said it. Did not cross my mind whatsoever before he said it, clearly. But this stamping was also a little bit of after the fact. So the question is, too, do we put the stamping on the front of the sheath here? Do we put it on the back here in case he ever wants to get his, like, stamping or etching or something on there? Just with how this bends over, I think I'm going to put it on the back this time. I think it'll be a little less in your face, and since it's not my axe and not my sheath, I think putting it on the back will be nice. And it gives it a little bit more of an open space to kind of put it in there too, rather than jamming it in with too busy of a spot with the fold coming over here. So we'll do that too before we get too far along. But first things first, I think sanding up some of these spots. So a couple of the spots that I am going to just thin out just a little bit before I do anything else with are the spot right here on top where I'm going to put the hole for the stud closure, and on the bottom here where I need to actually put the stud closure too. So, and along this this seam here, the crease, just so it creases a little easier. And using this spoon carving knife was actually a suggestion from I believe it was Kurt. So I really like the suggestion, dude. Thank you. It's been very helpful. I don't like the video cut off, but we've got the leather kind of wetted down. I think it's called casing. I don't really know because I'm not a leather worker. So this should be easier than when I did it on the sheath, because this is a a separate part that's not all uneven and kind of cattywampus. So should be able to kind of place this right where we want it. You're going to keep in mind we're going to have stitching along the edge here and some rivets, so kind of place it up here maybe. That looks as good as I think it's going to get. So we'll set that there. Line that up in the center. I do think it worked well when I cobwebs everywhere. There we go. I do think it worked well when I used the socket to press down, so we're going to try that again. I don't want to press so hard that I cut into the leather, but I do want to leave a nice indentation. I have not fixed up the press yet, but I do want to do that eventually. Nice. Does not look like it's shifting. Looks pretty well centered. Because I do want to have some kind of base. Maybe just get it on a block of wood and just have 4 pins, right in the corner here, just so I can actually put some torque on it without having to hold the press like this. Oh yeah, that looks like it's pressing down in there. Nice. Alright, we'll leave that for a minute or two, then we'll take it off. Just remember, this is on the back of the sheath. So you're going to see it when I see it. Oh, that came out good. A little bit of sawdust or leather dust, but that came out nice and crisp. Sweet. Alright, let that dry. Let it kind of harden up. I don't know, it's not really hardening, but it's drying, so we'll let it dry. And while that, I will work on the front of the sheath with getting those specific edges burnished. I really like that press, though. I definitely want to fix that up. Maybe I'll do that sooner than later. I got so many projects I want to do. Now right now I'm only doing the edges that are going to be kind of on the inside of the sheath, because I'm still going to have to sand the other ones, so. For the corners, I kind of like holding it the long way and kind of running it over almost like a file. Alright, and just after one pass, one session, it's already pretty smooth, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so got our front part of or the back part of the sheath burnished up on the edges that we will have a hard time getting to. Burnished up enough. We've got that also done on the front, so that's just dripping it into the spots that I know I need glue. Trying to be careful. Kind of like using a little piece of wood, a little tongue depressor or stir stick, something like that. You can almost use like a little spatula to spread it out flat. Alright, I'm calling it. That actually worked very well. Thank you, Chris. This we're just going to butt right up to here as hard as we can. Cut it from different pieces of the sheath, so it's slightly different thicknesses, but that's alright, it'll be fine. What we need to do is rough up the surface of this leather here just a little bit. Kevin, we didn't talk about a sheath at all, so you don't know you're getting this. So I probably won't post it until after you've already gotten it. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you wanted a sheath or a mask. If not, Maybe it fits on something else that you can sell to someone else. No hard feelings. But it's handy to have a mask on a sheath that you're bringing into the woods. Or even just any time you're using it, you know. Especially him. I see he put some very nice edges on axes that I've seen. So makes sense to keep it protected. Or you protected from it. Both, I guess. So this should hopefully do that. And it's always nice when you're trading with someone to put a little, you know, extra something in there. You know, I know it's never necessary, but it's just kind of a fun thing to surprise them with something else. Again, you want it tacky. I know my other videos I've kind of compared it to like sticky note tackiness. That seems to work well for me. You don't want it, you don't want it dry to the touch because it's not gonna adhere to each other. But yeah, that's probably about perfect. Sticking my glove when I'm picking it up, but it's not sticking to my glove. That's in the thinner spots, so the thicker spots, they probably got a little bit of ways to go still. So our sheath is mostly dry. Basically what I'm going to do is take this to the belt sander and just true up the edges where we've glued. Just to even them out. And then that's it. We'll pretty much follow the same steps as we did before. Alright, our edges are all sanded up. Now we're just going to re-edge bevel the ones that have not been beveled yet and kind of blend in some of the ones that we kind of had to match up with. So. So there's unburnished, just sanded, burnished. This is where we're at now. Stamp's looking good. The edges are all burnished. I can probably do a little more work on the top of here, but we can do that. We can always do that one after. Should probably test fit. Very nice. So then that's going to bend right over like that and sit beautifully. This will be a big punch for the rivets. And do one generally in the middle there. And then we'll use our little stitching spacer, which is too fine, but I go every other stitch and it seems to work. Or every other punch, I guess. And I have thought about getting some pricking irons, but I just haven't picked any up yet. I know they can be kind of challenging with this thick of leather. So that's the big one. I'm not going to show you drilling them. It's I put it in the drill press and I drill them out. It's that simple. Alright, our holes are drilled. The front looks really good. The back looks okay. Front looks really good. The back on the side here looks pretty evenly spaced. For some reason when I was going along the edge here, it just did not want to line up. But it is the back, so I'm just going to have to deal with it. I think the next thing is going to be measuring where we want to put the snap closure, stud closure. So we'll go about like that, hold it in nice and tight. Down as far as we can go. And then right about there. I hope that lines up, yep, with our recessed parts in the sheath. It does, so we should be in good business. A block of wood under here so I have some kind of backing. Beautiful. I like it. Alright, now we can work on some stitching. I think when I did the last one, I could probably go back and look at the last video and see, but I think I did 9 times the length of the project. So, I'll say that's more than one. Call that one. We'll do 9 of those. That is about 9 lengths of thread. I'm actually going to take this inside and go watch some YouTube and saddle stitch this. So I'll be back when we come to set some rivets. So our stitching is all done. We actually got a double stitch on the bottom here, and a single stitch around the rest of the way. I terminated the stitches right there, so that should be good. Yeah, snap fits good, or the stud closure fits good. fits easier when there's the axe in there. But yeah, so really all that's left is just the copper rivets and oiling. So let's get going on the rivets. I'm gonna lay this rag down just so we don't scratch up the sheath as much. And just gonna get driving our rivets. Nice snug fit. There we go, and that's on there. Can't get that off, just a tiny bit, but yeah, that's a you know, that's a mask. So Kevin, hopefully you like it. Yeah, fun making it. It's good to take a little break in between, you know, doing some shop organization and cleaning stuff to, you know, kind of build something and make something. It's also, you know, cool sending it to another axe buddy, so. So hopefully you enjoy this. Hopefully you enjoy it in your forever collection. Like I said, and if not, hopefully if it's something else, or you sell it with the head when you sell it or something, you know. Let's get it oiled up. So as far as oil goes, we're just doing some neat's foot oil. Yeah, I think the stamp came out good. I'm happy I put it on the back too, because that leaves the the front if he wants to get something done here, or stamp his own little patch, or laser engrave it or something, or just leave it. Taking pictures of it, whatever. And this is kind of a little more subtle on the back, so I think it'll be good. As this dries, it'll lighten up to be kind of this color. Alright, well, this is it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining me on the fun little sheath build. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Kevin, hopefully you enjoy getting it. Like I said, once you see this, it'll already be in your hands. I'll keep the video in waiting until you actually get it, so that we're not spoiling any surprises. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Stay tuned for more fun stuff coming.